This video is going to show you how to solve the Sun and Shadow puzzle of the Divayth Trials. This is the one that will get you the Ingenious title. Now, typically I walk through the thinking behind this, but this is a really long and involved puzzle, so I'm kind of just going to do the step by step. And if you're trying to tackle this on your own, just know that the best way to do something like this is try different things, write down the steps you've tried, and kind of tinker with it. So it does tell us Forsworn Guide is the only creature remaining in our deck, and that we have to win this turn. We start with a Mammoth and a Mud Crab, and they're at 13 health after this triggers. So, Forsworn Guide is our only creature. However, when you play Sun and Shadow, we're going to go ahead and shackle our Mud Crab. This tells us all of the actions that we have. We're going to end up playing everything but the experiment. So, right out of the gate, we're going to find Fleeting Apparition, because this lets us find our only creature in the deck, Forsworn Guide. Play Apparition. We're going to unsummon Sun and Shadow, because we have more actions to find. All of these are important, though, so you actually don't betray right out of the gate. Next up, we're going to play Sun and Shadow. This time we're going to find Forsworn Guide. We're going to go get Close Call. And the reason to find Close Call is because we want to use Galen, but Galen needs a creature in your hand. So we're going to bounce our Guide, play Galen, copy the Guide. And the reason you copy the Guide is because we know we have another Fleeting Apparition later, and that needs to find copies of Forsworn Guide. So that's why we make the copies. Hopefully we're keeping up. So next up, we go ahead and we bounce Sun and Shadow, because again, we have more actions to find. We're going to go ahead and this time shackle Mr. Galen and go get experiments, because we need more shenanigans. And we're going to go ahead and copy Sun and Shadow, because we got to find actions.
We must count on our wits.
We'll just shackle our other Sun and Shadow. In fact, whenever you have the option with one to shackle another, you pretty much want to do it. We're going to secure Ulfric's Uprising, because that's really important. We're going to sacrifice our Galen here to make a copy, but this time we're actually going to copy Forsworn Guide, because we need more bounce later on, as opposed to more finding actions later on. So we're going to go ahead and get the Guide copied. This is as good as getting an action, but it just means we get more value out of our Ulfric's Uprising later. So the reason it's as good as getting an action is because this can still bounce Sun and Shadow for us. And we're going to bounce the one that was already shackled, freeing up future shackle targets, if you will. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead, play this, shackle this. We're going to go get our Fleeting Apparition again, because we have made copies and stuck them in. Let's go get a Forsworn Guide. And now that we're getting our Forsworn Guides, it's important that we pay attention to what's shackled and what's not, because again, if you do this wrong, you can run into an issue where you run out of things to shackle at the very, very end of this. So we play the Fleeting Apparition. We're going to unsummon our shackled Sun and Shadow. That's why I mention it. We're going to sacrifice a creature to copy Fleeting Apparition. We're going to betray one of our Forsworn Guides, because we're going to get it right back. And we're going to unsummon our other Sun and Shadow. We're going to play Sun and Shadow and shackle a Forsworn Guide. We're going to go get Dark Rebirth, because we're going to use even more fun summon effects in a moment. And then we're going to play Sun and Shadow and shackle Sun and Shadow. Again, always try to shackle the other one when you can. Let's go get a Night to Remember. Say okay. So at this point, we got a lot of stuff on the board. We're going to go ahead and play Ulfric's Uprising. So we're going to start by unsummoning the crab. Now, we have to unsummon Forsworn Guides here, but you want to make sure you unsummon the ones that have already triggered. So this one, because they go left to right, this one's already went. We're going to do that. This one has to unsummon a creature, so we're going to go ahead and also trigger on this one. This has to shackle a creature. We're going to shackle here. Let's us go get Blood Sacrament. Then the last one triggers, and it gets this Sun and Shadow, and we'll go get Weakness. So again, really important that you have enough shackles here at the end, because if you don't have a target, then you won't be able to get all of your actions, and we have to have the Mammoth up. You have to have the Mammoth up because we're going to put weakness on one of these guards, and then attack with Breakthrough to do 3 damage. And then the rest is simply Mud Crab triggers and Blood Sacrament. So you do a Mud Crab. And then your Mud Crab, because he lives a wild and crazy life, has a night to remember. But then that guide says, hey man, come back. We need you. And then this guide says, hey man, come back. We need you. And then he's reborn again after all of his wild times. And then you use Blood Sacrament. And you just use the Betray on any creature. And you have won! That is it. So, that is the puzzle. Puzzle solved. Hopefully this helps. Sorry it was a little expedited, but it's already a long video. So, thanks for watching. And until next time, may you walk on warm sands.